This is Michaela McLean, and you're listening to Beauty by Design. Hey everyone, welcome back. Thanks for being here. It's time to talk about our next gate. We're in Virgo season officially. Uh, but before we do, I just want to share that I got back from my first in-person energetic aesthetics level 1 training. I was at Shelby Miller's clinic, Ruma Aesthetics in Utah, and Shelby is aesthetic injector on Instagram. And so, what a absolute delight and amazing experience to not just get to go anywhere, but to someone like that, like go train at their facility, their staff. That was incredible. I mean, just so grateful for that opportunity because I am so into education and all of that. And like, here's somebody who is so well known for exactly that. And their clinic is built that way, to be a training academy on top of everything else. Like the place is gorgeous. This 10,000 square feet, like, oh my goodness, can we just talk about that? And like everything about it was amazing, every detail, all of that. But of course, like the training that I was there to do, it was so good. I just came back and I was like, I feel really good about this. It was so cool. Um, to train people, number one, it's second nature for those of us in aesthetics, like to touch people, right? I've been in plenty of trainings where this is not the case, and people really don't know how to approach the body or just, touch a person, not diagnose things. I mean, just crazy stuff. And it was like an amazing experience to train people who are already so comfortable with that, who understand, you know, ethically how to go about your work. And my biggest thing was presenting stuff in a very scientific manner, that was so important to me. So important, just to get the buy-in of potentially of the medical community into this. It's like there are just certain things like we're not gonna go way off into left field. I just think I kept telling the girls, I was like, I have been into so many trainings and just like, no, this is not what this is about. The things that people go off into la la land. And it's like, we're talking about what science supports, the studies show. This is how we would want to speak about it to patients. And that it's basically practices to soothe the nervous system. That is essentially what we're doing. It doesn't have to be all crazy and woo. This should fit seamlessly right in alongside everything that you're doing. And it was so cool. One of my favorite things is when I see the light bulb go off for other people. And part of this whole training was integration even. It's like not only learning how to administer, but how would this work? How would we fit this in? Like I've always had this vision for so long, for years now, of how this would work. And I feel like nobody's kind of like inside of my head, like realizing, no, 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 we just need to see it. So here we do the training. The second day, the girls and I were talking, and it was like, oh wow. Well, number one, love how you presented it, that it wasn't weird or strange or, scary even. You never know how people are going to receive this. But it was just like very scientific, very matter of fact. And that like it really does and can fit in so well with, everything that you're doing. So it was cool because one of them, Ashley, she was like, oh, I immediately knew how this would fit in alongside facials, but it wasn't until apparently I said something on day one, and she was like, oh, now I can see how this would fit in with like Morpheus. I was like, exactly. Because we're soothing the body. We're gonna help get the patient into a deeper state of relaxation so that number one, great for them. It's gonna help pain wise, but number two, anybody that does any sort of like remotely painful treatments knows that the more relaxed and the more at ease that your patient is, the better treatment that you're going to be able to administer, right? You're going to be able to get them an even better outcome, even better result. You're going to be able to treat more aggressively. that's a hard stay. It's a hard line to walk when you are a provider. And I'm like, I know that's what I spent my entire career doing. And then also after the fact, helping the body basically enter into a state where it can repair itself. And we're not talking about out there concepts. This is all stuff that is scientifically supported. And that's what I love too. I was like, we need to keep this simple and just easy breezy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, can you just tell us like I had a great time? It was wonderful. I cannot wait to teach this as a lead in the next thing is that this is what I'm going to be teaching at Aesthetic Next 5.0. So that is coming up rapidly. I mean, that's 2 weeks from now. So if you're going, oh my goodness, great. Can't wait to see you there. And hopefully you're coming to the workshop where I will be teaching level one on the Friday. And then if not, no worries, no worries. Like I'm going to be bringing this type of training in very much in a more longer drawn out, like, in-depth type of way in other ways in the very near future. But I'm not trying to get ahead of myself. I'm like, girl, one thing at a time, right? So that's happening. But yeah, you can totally check it out. The link is in the show notes to like get over there and sign up. So I'm so excited. And I'm just really excited to be progressing with things. And like I keep thinking about this, like the basically the awareness and the visibility of the work that I'm doing, that I really want to see these truly like helpful healing modalities get out to more people. And you have to think about that. You're like, how is that going to work? I've always said, I'm like, who do I need to reach? It's like my fellow people, my fellow providers and aesthetics, because think about how many people each one of those people touches in a day, in a week, in a month. We're in a healing profession, and we have the ability to really affect and impact so many people. And what is that going to do? That's going to help essentially make the world a better place, because again, it's always a ripple effect. When you start with yourself, it ripples out to everybody else. When that patient starts with themselves, they feel good. That's going to be affecting their home life, their friends, their family, and so on. So anyway, I think I'm always like, I have this big lofty Pisces vision. But anyway, thanks for being here and like humoring me. But also a provider, I will say this, with yoga nidras and even the classes, that is why I made those so accessible. So that if you're into this, you can easily point your patients and clients to their 1 hour $11 class, their, energetic beauty sleep for their type and authority. I wanted it to be like that so that, number one, the provider, it's just an extra resource for them. But number two, that it's stuff that's really affordable for everyone to access and get on board with. And then that creates deeper bonds between you as the provider and your patients or clients. It gives you more talking points. It gives you more of a connection. And, and then, and in turn, it supports me in my very, very small one-person business to continue to make and create all of these resources for everyone. So it's like a win-win-win. Anyway, I won't keep going on about it, but we're just going to get on to the episode. Yeah, anyway, I just had to share my excitement because it was like a big deal for me. Okay, so of course, links in bio over on Instagram at Michaela McLean. All the links in the show notes should be up to date. But let's get on to the episode. And always the disclaimer, don't try to understand this at the mental level. Just let my sound current, energy, frequency. We learned about that in energetic aesthetics. Okay. So when it's out, when you're ready and you want to train, you want to learn about that stuff, let's do it. But in the meantime, just let it sink into yourselves like good skincare. Okay, so the sun is, as of today, officially in Virgo, human design gate 59, which is located in the sacral center and part of the tribal defense circuitry. So here we are in the part of the chart that is concerned with creating and sustaining life. Tribal energy, I always say this about tribal, it's like the hippie commune. Everybody's contributing to the support of and the survival of the group, but it's still on that more feminine, yin, experiential, intuitive, and receptive side of the chart. So the tribal keynote here is support. And I want to point this out. I always think this is interesting about tribal energy. The G center, we're really taking a hard left here. The G center as an energy center is not involved in tribal circuitry, which I find fascinating because G center, it's like that is your personal identity. And so this is not about that. This is a more removed sort of perspective, right? This is about the root. Anyway, I don't know why I felt that was important to point out today, but I'm like, I really want to like, you know, share that. Anyhow, we're starting with the energy center. The sacral is the major motor center of the body graph, and it's responsible for generating sustainable, it's always the key word here with the sacral, sustainable life force energy that powers up the whole world. So gate 59 is known as dispersion. It's the gate of sexuality. And this is considered one of the creative channels in human design or creative gates. Specifically, it's the creation of life. It's this making babies. So the keynote here is the sexual energy to bond with a mate, energy of creation to bond with others to build partnerships. Now, the low expression of this one, like I said, I was stressing earlier, it comes from tribal energy in the defense circuitry piece, the subcircuit. It just wants to mate for the sake of keeping the species going. And so this energy can potentially either be intrusive or it can isolate. It can push itself upon another or, actually just kind of jump into anything without waiting. It could be prone to superficial relationships or being emotionally dishonest with yourself and others. But the high of this one is that it is pure life force energy. A gate 59 person is someone with the natural power to break through the aura of others and create close, intense bonds. It's someone who has the urge to merge with the energy of another being, and it's based on physical intimacy. So this particular energy is very warm, very caring. And remember, it's coming off the sacral. So that is our center for creativity. It's like literally where new life is made. It's on that yin feminine side of the chart, So think about that yin vibe that's so very nurturing and caring. This energy is going to feel like a kind of like this energetic hug, and it's intensified by touch, taste, smell, all of the senses that you need to be in close physical proximity to experience. So I think of this one as kind of like the art of seduction, like being able to draw somebody in. And I know this is the gate of sexuality, but it's like it's not just that. It's just like those people who really are very warm. That sacral energy really, it really just envelops a person, pulls them in and into what? Like hopefully a very divine union. So in the gene keys, the shadow of this one is dishonesty. So it's exclusive or it's intrusive. Gift is intimacy, and the city is transparency. And the gene keys states, actually, I'm going to pull from this 64 ways. Look at your relationships right now. They are exactly what you need. Is there any residual, untransformed energy anywhere? This is where your work is. Intimacy is actually a very internal experience, ironically. We become intimate with our own heart, and then we can be honest with another heart. We need to be really careful here because honesty needs to be balanced with kindness. Intimacy is a blend of honesty and kindness. We don't need to pour all our suffering out onto someone we love. Sometimes that is too much. And we don't need to share everything all the time. Sometimes our heart has to decide how much to share. So much of our transformation takes place in the silent chemistry field of the relationship itself. That is Tantra. We have to transform inwardly every piece of trauma that is triggered inside us. This doesn't mean we can't talk about it. Of course we can. If that helps us take care of ourselves more. But also intimacy is about listening to the other, really listening deeply through our heart. Intimacy is really the byproduct of inner transformation. It isn't something we do. Intimacy is something that is revealed from within. As we become more intimate inside our own heart, we let go of needing another person to change. That is the magical moment. That is when unconditional love comes into the game. When the other person feels that disinterested love from you, they are finally free to feel their own trauma. Even if they continue to project it onto you, it doesn't have to affect you. You will then no longer close your heart or be triggered by their projections. Only then can true healing begin. Okay, so my notes for this one, this is part of a generated channel, which of course means only going to be for generators and manifesting generators, the full channel. Anybody can have the gate by itself, but only the full channel. And actually, only emotional generators and manifesting generators. This is an emotional wave that it creates. So it's acting in response, this energy, 59. What do you have the energy and excitement for? Or better question, who are you available to respond to? Who's attractive to you? And can you let that play out over time to develop strong bonds, to develop a relationship? And again, don't always mean it's only romantic, because this is strong bonds, period, with any. So the programming partner here, meaning the opposite point, right? So Sun is in Virgo in gate 59. The Earth is automatically in Pisces, gate 55. So gate 55 is known as abundance, the gate of spirit. And this is not about abundance in the monetary sense or physically possessing things. It's really about feeling into the full spectrum that life has to offer. Happy, sad, up, down, pleasure, pain, hope, despair, the whole shebang, the whole spectrum. And it's definitely one that it can lean toward not honoring the highs and lows, or forcing itself to be around people or do things, when it's just not in the mood. You don't want to do that if you're a 55 person. And, making up a story about all of it, like why I feel this way, instead of accepting like just the natural emotional fluctuations. It's an email one, it's like the dips come and go. But the high expression, of course, this is such a beautiful energy. Oh my goodness. Such a creative energy, it really taps into the beauty, the feeling of life, pieces of music that really move you, or a beautiful piece of artwork. Any of that is all opportunities to deeply connect with and experience, others on this, basically this level. Think it's Pisces, right? This is like the oneness, like that true connection to everything and everyone. So just anyway, it's such a gorgeous energy that's available to people. Just all about that interconnectedness. The gate that completes the channel is Virgo gate 6, and this forms the channel of mating. So 6 is known as conflict. It's the gate of friction, and it states that growth cannot exist without friction. This is the gate that creates the awareness of feelings, moods, and sensitivities. So this one is so funny. It's like, I laugh because I am a gate 6 girl. This is where my conscious earth is. Spoiler alert. It's a fear of intimacy, and it is a kind of diaphragm that generates a wave by either opening or closing to intimacy. And it's nervousness about revealing who you really are. So this one always blows my mind too, because gate 6 is really the skin, and it's related to the body's pH. I was always concerned about the pH of products, because at the end of the day, what I really see this energy as, it's like the pH of your aura, of your energy. It's like, who do you let in? Who needs to stay out? Who's going to like mess the barrier up? Um, and I'm always like, and it's Virgo. It's very discerning and discriminating. There's just like this hesitancy of like letting other people in, and I think about it, I laugh on the line 4 here, right? And it's like, well, always going to be like very nice, very friendly, very cordial, but who really gets in there? Not very many people, you know? So, and even between these two energies, the 59 and the 6, I always think like, yeah, this side of it is like more the play hard to get side. It's like, I don't know. I have a velvet rope and a bouncer and a guest list, and I don't know that you get in here. Oh, So I always think about this for like I said, for myself, this is such a huge thing in my chart as part of my incarnation cross, and it's like I'm naturally hyper discerning about all of that, you know. But in turn, it's like where could you benefit from potentially letting some of those walls down? Yeah. So very important again, because this is like how you feel here. It's an emotional feeling gate. You are going to impact people with that. So when six, this actually is like the root of all the emotional waves. It's all like compressed into gate six. It's all the potential for emotions live here. Um, in the solar plexus connects over. So it just goes straight over to 59 in the sacral center. Like I said, it's like 59 to me feels a little bit more the pursuer, and six is the one being pursued, playing a little bit hard to get. That's kind of the dance that the two of them are doing over here. When they come together to form the channel of mating, it's what's known as a creative channel. It's literally about making babies, creating life, creating things, even. It doesn't have to be another person, they're, like a child, but it is the creation of things. So, and it's also about cultivating close relationships. This is not where marriage occurs. That is actually in a different channel, but interesting nonetheless. To be like, oh, this is actual just intimacy. So, because this channel gives solar plexus definition, like I said, it's part of an emotional wave, but it's the most subtle and steady of the bunch. It's the one people are often unaware of because it is just so like low key, and it's about closeness. It can take really basically encountering another person to bring the awareness of it to the forefront. So if you have this channel or make this channel with someone, remember that you are building that closeness, that intimacy, that relationship over time. Give yourself time to get to neutral clarity that you actually want to be emotionally intimate with that other person. People with emotional waves can be spontaneous and then later realize that it wasn't correct for them. So this would be like jumping into intimacy with someone only to realize later that they're not someone you want to raise a baby with, both literal or metaphoric. Um, like I said, we could be talking about a business partner here too. You're like, oh yeah, that's great, let's do it, the thing. And then you're like, oh no, like after the fact, like, oh, this is not a person I want to be tied to, right? Um, this channel is very fertile. Our genes just naturally want us to reproduce, to create life. And this is the root of where that desire comes from. So again, we're wanting to create things, even doesn't keep saying this doesn't always have to be children, but it's just like the creation of new things in the world. So gates 59 and 6 are both considered aura busters. So they have this magical ability to break through the auric barriers of other people, whether anyone is aware of it or not. Um, so it's like basically, you experience this energy when you're in the aura of another person. As I said, it's like this is generated. So it's actually drawing people in to create a physical closeness. Very important to achieve these intimate relationships with others through your own personal strategy and authority. So if you're gate 9 by itself, like I said, you could be any type and have, what am I talking about? 59. If you have gate 59 by itself coming off the sacral, so it's like, but what if you're a projector or a manifester? It's like you're going to have a different strategy and authority to using this 59 than someone else would. 59 could have it and be like, ooh, I see someone that I like. Okay, I'm going to inform them. That's it. Say a projector has it. It's like, I'm going to wait for the invitation to engage in some sort of like, bonding intimacy relationship with another person. Make sense? Reflector, you'd want to wait to be, included. Okay, so then the other piece, if you have the full channel, again, you're only going to be a generator or manifesting generator with this, but you need to wait out the wave to see if what you've created, between another person is something you actually want to commit to. Building a relationship basically on friendship first, that you're like, I want to be around this person in the first place for a long period of time. Okay, And it's funny, in one of the deep books, Ra, the founder of human design, said one of the things that I have seen about human beings is that they are ready to jump into hell rather than wait for paradise. So again, think about how close you feel to someone over time that you've built a strong relationship with over time, you know, versus, hey, let's jump right in and then regret all kinds of things later. This energy is often said its best experience as electromagnetic, meaning two people coming together to create the channel. But be aware that is some fertile energy. Yeah, I just, like I said, I laugh with this one having the gate six because it's like the fear and attunement to intimacy. I'm the side of this channel that's like, no, gonna keep you over there until it's like the right time. But again, this is at the beginning of Virgo season. Gate six is at the end of Virgo season. But I get to experience this all the time, the full channel, because both of my children have the 59 and I have the six. So it's hilarious. Like they are just so snuggly. They both are obsessed with babies, especially my little manifestor. He is like baby crazy. I cannot, I've never seen a little boy like that. It's so rough and tumble and masculine, and yet and he's the 27, also off this April. It's like he's so caring, nurturing, loving. It's hilarious. It's so wild. And he's a Taurus. So it's like, very tactile. But they just love that. They're like they want to cuddle all the time. They want to snuggle. You name. I mean, just yeah. I could go on and on forever about them, and I would. But yeah. Oh my God, I have notes here too, like from last time. But they if I wear like a zip up sweatshirt, they will want to like get inside of it and like snuggle with you in there. And when my daughter was really little and she was potty trained, she would sit on her little potty next to me and want to hold hands. Like it's just like the closeness is unreal. And they're both 4 6s, so we're all line fours. It's just very, very tight knit around our house. It's hilarious. And even sometimes, so my husband does not have any part of this channel, and he's 3 5. And at certain points, he'll just be kind of like, oh my gosh, like, I need a little bit of space. And I'm so used to, I'm like, I shared a body with these two little boogers. Like, it's like no boundaries. Like, I don't even know where, it's like I begin and they, and end and all that stuff. It's very intimate. It's very close. And I love it. Like, I would not have it any other way. Anyway, moving on. Astrologically, this channel would be, like I said, a loose, very loose Virgo conjunction, because again, it's like we're beginning Virgo season and ending Virgo season, the two pieces that create this full channel. But interesting, both pieces occur during the third quarter of the wheel. So of course, this is the quarter that's all about purpose fulfilled through bonding and relationships. So yeah, so my esthetician connection, as I was talking at the beginning of the episode about um being down at Ruma and training the estheticians, one of the girls had the full channel. She had Sun in six, North Node in 59. She immediately took to Reiki. It was so cool. Like the touch element, even. Just like so comfortable. And she was the one that was like, I was kind of nervous, like going into this. And then at the end, kind of one of the last things that she had said to me, she was like, I'm totally sold. I was like, love it. Um, but you know what I mean? It's the yin, it's the experiential way over here that we're talking about, the aura busting energy, right? This is basically it's touch, all of these things working together to create this energy of closeness, safeness, bonding with the provider and the patient. And like I can and do talk about this stuff till I'm blue in the face, but there's a certain point where you just actually have to experience it, be in the aura of another, be touched, be help in that sense. Um, I keep referring. I was like, it's essentially it's like parasympathetic nervous system soothing techniques. It's like I'm going to lay down. I'm in a safe space with a safe provider and just allow some very gentle techniques to, be essentially administered. And then boom, like, whoa, like, where did I just go for half an hour? Most relaxed I've ever been in my entire life. And she, of course, I was gonna get in on all the action. I made sure like the girls all treated me as well. And it was just incredible. And it was, like I said, it was so cool to see people just take immediately to it. And I don't know, it just made my heart so happy. It was so good. So anyway, there you have it. The other really cool thing is like with the training down there was I was basically showing them how to integrate the yoga nidra recordings into this as well. Super cool. That's like, again, part of the building blocks of all these things coming together. It's like, oh, okay, so yoga nidra has all of its own scientific benefits, and I'm going to do, you know, techniques that are going to soothe the nervous system. I was like, you guys, you can take people into such a deep restorative space with like, I mean, it's easy breezy. Now we got the tools. You're trained, you're tuned, we're good to go. Anyway, there you have it. Remember to check your chart. What's going on over there? Do you have this gate? So the sacral, the box tummy, it's going to be coming off the right hand side, 59. If it's colored in black, red, or red and black, it means you have it somewhere. If it's white, you do not have it. You might be like me, look across. There's six colored in. And if six is colored in any color, then you're going to get the full channel for approximately 6 days. And even if you have none of it, you're still experiencing it through the transits, you're experiencing it through other people. You're going to see this energy show up in your life, and it's going to be very interesting to witness. And again, we're talking about next layer, next level stuff, where as different pieces of this training come forward, how do you use all of this as well in, okay, I don't want to say too much, things are going to be rolling out over time, but it's going to be really exciting. Of course, go follow me over on Instagram at Michaela McLean, especially if you are in aesthetics, because I put out the energy tips for the treatment room each week. So ways to utilize this information in very simplified ways that will make sense for the treatment room, from essential oils to frequencies to use to things to focus on in your business and your practice. Okay, I'll be back soon with more. If this episode was of value to you, I would absolutely love it and appreciate you leaving me a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcast, where it just helps so much get the information out to more people. And that's what I'm trying to do, is just help more people. So super awesome. Karmic brownie points for that. Would love it. And if you want to learn more human design, of course, start with the free guide. It'll take you to the right $11 class. Again, I encourage you to send your patients and clients that way. Get your nidra, and then if you want to go further, my Golden Experience Guide course, where I am essentially, it's called your Energetic Marketing Guide. I'm teaching human design. And then Solo Esthetician Lab, I'm in there, doing esoteric education for estheticians. And then, like I said, energetic aesthetics, buckle up, baby. It's coming in person first. So we already did their in-person training. We're doing it aesthetic next, and then in the very near future, and bring it to you in other ways. So, all right, until next time, of course, have a beautiful day.